where Lawrence has just read chapters 211 through 220 of Bleach for the first time. Lawrence, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing swell. We're ready to get into it.
Yeah, where Lawrence last left off yesterday, the Iron car belonging to Grimmjow, as well as himself, had invaded Karakura town, and the captains had released their spiritual pressure limiter, and they easily took down their opponents. Ichigo is still fighting Grimmjow. Let's get into things with the poem for Volume 24, Imminent God Blues. Doesn't matter who it is, I'll fucking crush anybody.
Yeah, that definitely another short and sweet one that perfectly relates to what happens within the volume, and good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely from Grimmjow's point of view.
Of course.
So what did you think of the Ichigo versus Grimmjow fight?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of cool reveals in terms of like once again, Ichigo using his Bankai. There were some great spreads from that going on, especially like right before Ichigo like put that slash on him that Grimmjow was like kind of surprised by. He was like, "Oh, that wasn't in the report." He had this another gear that he found. But yeah, it was a good fight, and definitely kind of like a precursor, like a signs of things to come, and good. Yeah, so I enjoyed it.
Well, Ichigo effectively loses it.
Yeah,
because someone comes to intervene before Grimmjow can get serious and release himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that person is none other than Tosin. So what did you think here of Tosin recalling Grimmjow?
I mean, it definitely fits within like what his like moral code seems to be in terms of like he has a distaste for needless violence, and he pretty much explained that as much when he was reprimanding him on the way back, like you went here without permission. He took 5 Iran cars with you, and there was really no like purpose to like what you were doing. You were just like out for bloodlust, pretty much.
Yeah,
and yeah, and it's just like even more reason to why I'm like surprised that Tosin is in the same group as like these people. Like they all seem like they're just like bloodthirsty like animals. I mean, aside from maybe Aizen has some like grander plan that maybe Tosin is inspired by, I guess is that's the thing that keeps him hanging on, but it still seems like pretty flimsy a pretty flimsy like foothold to like put himself, because like if I'm Toasted, I'm thinking like maybe Aizen's pitching this plan, but he's kind of a son of a bitch. Like Aizen's kind of like
his loyalty is to Aizen. He believes Aizen is the person who brings justice.
But like but like if you look at the evidence of what Aizen's done so far, he's like screwed over like every single person that he's like come into contact with so far. So like why are you think he's gonna like be good for you? Like I don't know.
Maybe the Shinigami are the wicked ones.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was preaching the gospel of like the Shinigami need to get their shit together because they seem like a crooked ass organization like earlier, but like. I don't know, man. It's like, but is Aizen like the horse that you need to back here? If he's like deputizing these like blood thirsty, like half hollow, half like whatever humanoid like beings to like wreak havoc on the world. Like it seems kind of like a backwards like way to get what he wants, because like it seems like the plan is to unleash these.
You don't know the plan yet.
Okay, we'll see what the plan is, but like it doesn't like I don't know. I'm just like waiting to see like how this aligns with like Tosin's like viewpoint. Like it doesn't seem like it seems like shoddy logic so far.
Yeah, I like Tosin's new outfit though. I think it's cool. An improvement for sure.
Cool look.
Tosin shows up, says Aizen's gonna be mad, and Grimmjow comes back to Hueco Mundo with Tosin. Meanwhile, Ichigo concedes that he lost, and he takes it pretty hard. Short break there in the next chapter of Keigo bringing Ikaku and Yumichika home. What did you think of that?
What?
Of Keigo, Ichigo's friend, drags Ikaku and Yumichika home.
Yeah, it was fun with the with his sister. She's into bald guys. That was a
shaved. No, she's into shaved heads.
Shaved heads. Oh yeah, I remember he was threatened when Keigo tried to clarify. Oh, he's bald guys, and he was like, nope. Hey, stop calling me Baldy. We forgot to also mention during that little oh no, I guess that happens. We still haven't talked about the Aizen meeting yet, right? That's going to happen down the line. The whole like confrontation part of it, aspect of it.
You mean with Grimmjow talking to Aizen? Yeah, that's immediately next.
Okay, that's immediately next. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, that was a fun little interlude before we got to the next part.
And now they have a place to stay. So Grimmjow has to apologize to Aizen. Aizen seems to be willing to let it go, but Tosin is not. What did you think of Grimmjow's punishment?
Getting his arm cut off?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's pretty just, he definitely needed some sort of reprimanding. Pretty much the punishment that Tosin drew out, like from what I understood, Aizen like pretty much was like, you're off scot-free, but then Tosin was like, okay, here's your punishment now, bitch, like fuck you. And then Aizen was like, well, I'm sorry, like he did it, like I can't do anything, he's my guy. That was like pretty much how it went down, right? Okay.
And Jin teases or Jin sort of says to Aizen, oh, you know, not very nice of you to tease him like that. You knew Tosin was going to do that the entire time.
Gotcha. And that's what he was saying, because I was also like maybe wondering if it was like if like Gin was the one that told Tosin about like what was going on down, and that's why like Tosin went out there, and then but so what was happening there was that Jin was saying like, oh, you knew that's how the punishment was going to go, so why'd you go through that, like all that prefacing of just kind of like the show of it all, you know? Mm-hmm.
He was teasing Aizen for teasing Grimmjow.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we then get a glimpse of Uryu's training with his father. What did you think of that?
Uryu's training with his father. I mean, it was a very small glimpse. He was like wondering, how is me dodging all these arrows going to lead me to becoming a Quincy? And he was like, either you're going to become a Quincy or you're going to die. Pretty harsh training to throw at your son there. I mean, that it seems like. I guess he must be pretty confident that he'll succeed. So, not the worst thing in the world, I guess.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ichigo heads to the Wizards.
Wait, is a Urahara chat thing before this?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of small.
That's all that happened, really. That's cool. Yeah.
Chad goes to Urahara, says, train me, and Urahara makes a surprise face, and we're
like,
on.
Who dis? New phone, who dis? He's like...
So, what did you think of Ichigo going to the Wizards?
Oh yeah, I like these chapters. During this whole thing, like we got to introduce this new group. I'm still like, I mean, they seem like all right people. Like I guess, like I'm trying to figure out like what their like motivations are. Still, because Kenji, is it Kenji? That's the guy's name.
The leader.
The leader, yeah, Shinji. Shinji. Yes, Shinji. Because like when Ichigo is kind of like questioning things, and like Shinji was like gave a little bit of like explanation, like somewhat. He was like saying, we know who Aizen is, we know what the Arankars are, we know what we know about your background and everything, like we know all about all this stuff going on. And so that's why, because he was like Ichigo, of course, was like being Ichigo. He's like, I want to like learn all this shit like right now. I don't need this drawn out training. But
Hiyori's not a fan of this, and she and Ichigo have a fight.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, because well, first he challenges Shinji, and then he's like somewhat. They're kind of like both like half-heartedly just fighting, and then Like
Mhm.
Hiyori's like, enough of this bullshit. I'm gonna just like make him show his hollow powers right now, and then proceeds to like nearly get wrecked before the whole squad intervenes.
Yeah, when Ichigo's hollow powers manifest, he overpowers Hiyori and is almost choking her to death. And
Yeah.
then the rest, everybody else intervenes. I feel like this is a good panel to then ask your thoughts about them so far.
Yeah.
So the guy in the top left here with the long hair, that's Rose. What do you think of Rose?
Uh, he only maybe said like two things so far. So I mean, the character design looks interesting, but I haven't really gotten enough to like know my
Right.
full thoughts on him.
What do you think of the woman directly below Rose, Lisa?
I believe was that the first person that fought Ichigo during the whole like
Yeah,
uh
she's the one who reads porno mags.
oh, I missed that part. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, she seemed pretty chill. She was like the only really like stuff I got from her is like her name and that she was gonna like fight him for 10 minutes, and then she like had a little blurb that once it gets back to around to me there, because it has to happen within an hour, then like your fate will be sealed either way, kind of deal.
So the next person is Hachi, the big older man up there. What do you think of him?
I mean, he seemed kind of fun. Like he was he was like doing his own. I forgot who he left with someone, and he came back in the middle of like Hiyori arguing with Ichigo once again about the whole like elliptical soul elliptical situation that was going on. And he seems like a fun guy, I guess.
Yeah, the man with the shorter hair there is Keigo. What do you think of Keigo?
Yeah, so with him, he was the second guy to swap. He swapped in to for the next 10 minutes of the fight. Um, seems dutiful enough.
I'm sorry, that's not Keigo. His name is Kensei.
That's what I was like.
I
I
misspoke.
definitely thought, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like again, like I feel like the only real people I have like a full like understanding of what their character likely is going to be is Yori and Shinji. Like beyond that, like
Yeah.
I don't think I've been given enough to like assess like what the character types are aside from like just like surface level stuff. I mean, he seems like a pretty dutiful guy.
All right. So we can move on then. What do you think of the meat of the training itself, of everybody having to subdue Ichigo in his as he becomes more and more of a hollow while he goes to the inner world to fight his inner hollow?
Yeah, I thought it was a cool one of the best, like maybe the best like training stuff I've seen so far, because I'm typically kind of bored by all the training things arcs that happen within like the Bleach thus far, but this one was like actually somewhat interesting because he's like fighting his inner hollow, and they're kind of like exchanging words, and you're getting to like learn more about like how this whole process works, and the fact that his hollow is like, I'm Zangetsu, like I've eaten him, and like and Ichigo kind of realizes like, if I defeat him, then Zangetsu will have more control, and I'll be able to kind of like bring balance to the world. So yeah, and then you also have this like a way to kind of like introduce these other characters and like kind of their fighting styles and stuff while he's training too. So it seems like you're killing two birds with one stone here. Yeah, so I think it's a pretty efficient stuff. I think it's well done.
Was this anywhere where you thought the story was going to go in these 10 chapters for today, heading to the Wizards and Ichigo starting to train?
I think I had an idea that he would probably like, maybe not within these 10 chapters here, but I had an idea that he was probably going to go to the Viscers to like get his powers like in check and with the hollow stuff, because it seemed like that was like the barrier holding him back from being able to fight at his full capacity. And I think in fighting Grimmjow, he kind of realized like, if he's like has any bit of kind of hesitance and or kind of something holding him back during like a fight with like such powerful beings, that he has no chance. So it makes sense that he would like seek out these people to kind of get that all in check. Yeah, because initially for these 10 chapters, I thought it would mainly focus on kind of them licking their wounds and trying to like figure out like a strategy or whatever, and like them, and then the Shinigami kind of like reporting back to the Soul Society and trying to like figure that out, and then also getting more on the side of Aizen and Toastin and Jin, and then we kind of got that. We got that for sure, and then we got a little bit of like the kind of the Shinigami licking their wounds stuff, and this was probably the majority of the 10s. But I figured it would happen, but it was a happy surprise that it happened this early, you know?
Yeah. For me, this 10 chapters, it's just sort of a intermediary period for me. We're wrapping up the first, or I guess technically the second invasion, or Grimmjow's invasion. Ichigo has to go his training. I really like the rest of the training that you're going to be experiencing tomorrow. I think there's some great panels there. And, I won't spoil anything else for tomorrow, but you're going to finish volume 25 and get pretty decently into volume 26 tomorrow with the Mascaron Drive.
Cool beans.
Yeah. And where we ended off today, Ichigo is still fighting his inner Hollow, but he's been pierced by Hollow Ichigo's Zangetsu. And he takes hold of the own sword and transmits his own power and starts to overpower his hollow form momentarily.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to pick off tomorrow. We're really getting into further and further in the Arkan arc. You're learning more and more. What do you think so far?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm already liking this more than the Soul Society. I mean, I don't know if that's like sacrilege or anything, but like from what I've heard, but like I think this is just far and away like better in terms of like I think it helps that like I already know most of the characters from like the Soul Society perspective, so it doesn't seem like kind of overwhelming being like thrust with all these like characters at once, and then even with these like new characters being introduced in with the Wizards, you know, it's like a lot less people, you know, it's only like 7 people, and you kind of already know 2 of them from like earlier stuff that's been going on, so you're kind of being like slowly introduced to each of them. So I kind of like that, the way it's working there. And then the Arankars as like a group are more interesting like villains, because the Soul Society, it was kind of like I was like, who's the villain? Because it was like everything was like being held like close to the vest, like you know, like it was all about kind of the twist of it all. Like, is Jin bad or is he good? Is Aizen dead or is he alive? Is Tosin out of nowhere is just like I'm bad, I'm a baddie too, I guess. So yeah, so I think I like this route that they're taking a lot better, where you kind of know like what's on the board, and who's bad, who's good, and who's fighting who. And then there's still room for like twists to happen, of course, here as well. And I definitely like it a lot better the way it's set up thus far.
Yeah, one of my favorite things here is as you meet more and more Spada, discovering who is what number in terms of strength is a fun thing.
Cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Spectral Skull, new in the chat and a new follower. We're going to continue tomorrow discussing chapters 221 to 230. Our YouTube is the same, IMF streams, and you can go there and we'll have the playlist for all the other past updates for you to check out. Lawrence, did you have anything else you want to mention?
Not particularly. I mean, yeah, definitely. I think these 10 chapters were, like, as you said, kind of an intermediary between the two like branches. Like, you got the initial invasion, and I assume what's going to happen afterwards is going to be equally as big or exciting. So yeah, definitely digging this a lot more than I have in the past in terms of Bleach chapters.
All right. Yeah. Well, have a good one, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.